Hey, you guys. It is Gabby, the realtor, and I'm here today to talk to you about agency disclosure forms. Okay, they look like this. Let me just give you a little glimpse there. Okay, and they're available for buyers and sellers, and also for tenants and landlords. So basically, an agent is going to present this to you whether you are a landlord or a tenant, or whether you're a buyer or a seller. And it's not a contract, as it states on it very clearly. It's not a contract at all. It really just tells everyone, lets you know, puts it on file that you are represented by such and so. Okay, so it states whether or not a person is a buyer's agent, which is an agent that works on behalf of a buyer, a seller's agent, which is an agent who works on behalf of the seller and in their best interest, a landlord's agent, which works on behalf of the landlord, or a tenant's agent, which works on behalf of the tenant. It also includes a dual agent, which works on both sides. So say you have a listing, a real estate agent has a listing. They have this beautiful apartment that is available for you. But then you know this agent and you want to work with them and you like this apartment. So it's their listing and you're their client. That's dual agency, right? But the tricky thing with that is that agent is expected to work on both of your behalves and have both of y'all back. Okay, so if that's the case, some people, when it comes to buying and selling with the sales department, it gets tricky because, how are you really going to work on my behalf and their behalf, have my back and have their back? So sometimes they ask for something that's called dual agency with designated sales agents. So in that case, the managing broker of the brokerage that has the listing and the client, will then determine who will be the sales agent for the buyer and who will be the sales agent for the seller, right? So that is called dual agency with designated agents, because when you're in just a regular dual agency, it gets a little tricky, because say you have a seller and you know that they're desperate to sell, you can't tell the buyer that, even though on a regular you would if you were the buyer's agent, right? You can't tell the buyer that. And then let's just say you know that your buyer has more money and they can definitely pay a little higher for higher than asking or higher than what their offer is. You can't tell the seller that. So it puts you as an agent in a funny position, and it puts you as the seller or the buyer in a position where, your agent can't do as much for you because they're representing both sides. That's a dual agency. So this form basically discloses whose side are we working on. Okay, so it lets you know who we're working for, and if at any point we become a dual agent, we have to disclose that to you as the buyer or seller or landlord or tenant. It's most important in a buyer-seller situation, but it happens in a tenant-landlord situation as well. But either way, your agent should be letting you know. That is what the full disclosure is. And they have a fiduciary duty to be responsible and have the backs of whoever they are representing. So that is what this form really is about, and you are just signing to say that you understand and you acknowledge this. It is not a contract at all, okay? But you're going to be presented with this. So now you know. You won't be like, hey, what is this agency disclosure form? What is this about? This is what it's about. So I'm glad that you joined me for this video, a little quick one to talk about agency disclosure forms. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for joining me, you guys. Love ya.